So as I mentioned a minute ago, another role of microtubules is in cilia and flagella. Both cilia and flagella are made from microtubules arranged in a 9 dimers plus 2 singlets formation. So here I'm showing you an electron micrograph of a cross-section through cilia, and you can see the 9 dimers around the periphery and the 2 singlets in the middle. Now in the last slide I mentioned that dynein is used for retrograde transport along microtubules. Dynein can also be used to bind microtubules for a different purpose, which is to link these doublets together. Then ATP can be used to cause them to slide along each other, which makes the cilium bend. Flagella and cilia have a similar structure if you take a look at the cross-section, but they also have some functional differences. First of all, flagella move in this kind of propeller pattern, since they're trying to generate force that pushes the cell away from where it's pointed. Cilia beat back and forth, since they're trying to keep the fluid outside the cell moving in a consistent direction. Flagella are a lot more common in single-celled organisms like bacteria, but can you think of any human cells that have flagella? Sperm are the first ones that come to mind for me. How about cells that have cilia? Two important ones are cells in the lung that keep mucus moving out of the lungs, and cells in the fallopian tubes, which move the egg towards the uterus. Okay, so what happens if you have an autosomal recessive defect in dynein? This is called Cartogner syndrome, or primary ciliary dyskinesia, and if you have it, your cilia and flagella won't be able to move at all. So all these functions I just mentioned won't work. Both males and females will be infertile, since sperm can't move and the egg won't be pushed along the fallopian tube to the uterus. Patients with Cartogeners also commonly have bronchiectasis and recurrent sinusitis, since cilia are required to sweep particles out of the lungs. And lastly, it's associated with situs inversus, which is a condition in which major organs are found on the opposite side of the body. For example, the liver should be found on the right side, but here it's found on the left.